How's everyone? How's everyone doing? What's going on? And sometimes it's like someone took a knife, baby, as you know. Right, so I guess just while I've been saying was going to do it for weeks, but I never got around to it. And I don't really know why. But I felt like at the start of quarantine, I was doing out like an Instagram live every day. I nearly overdid it. So it took time to write some tunes and things like that, which has been fun and hard also. Right, so I guess what's the best way to do it? I was set out a few weeks ago I was going to do one where I broke down every song on the album. I still think that's a good idea. Maybe I could play a few as well. Do I just go random songs, or do I start, or how do you want me to do it? Do it in any order. Okay. Someone just said. I guess Heartbreak Weather is a good place to start, actually, to be fair, because it kind of tells the story. And some of the songs tied together quite well. Other songs don't have to be... how would I describe this? Sometimes the songs are not necessarily about me. Sometimes the songs are written from another person's point of view. Someone looking in on that particular relationship. Sometimes my point of view. Sometimes friends of mine. Sometimes it's a thing that was said in passing, or maybe I wrote it down at the time and thought that's a good idea. I could write about that. So I reckon, and that was the whole point of this. I didn't want to write an album of to be fair, now in hindsight, it sounds like every song's about me, but if you know the ins and outs of each song, then I guess it helps when you go to listen to it. I would say we should start with Heartbreak Weather then. So Heartbreak Weather kind of is like the start of a relationship, and Heartbreak Weather was one of the first things that we wrote down when I was starting to write this, starting to write the album. I've probably spoken about this before, but for those of you who don't know anything about this, this is where we started. I wrote down Heartbreak Weather as maybe as a title or something, and then I was like, yeah, all right, this is good. This gives me an idea. I can write songs from different angles and kind of in my head as I write correlate the weather to a different feeling, and that's where I started. So with Heartbreak Weather, it reminded me of when I first moved to LA, when I was spending more time in LA and kind of bouncing around all the bars of LA and getting drunk and going to house parties and, you know, usual shit, and just kind of the whole idea. We also had like the line "sleepwalk living," which I thought was quite cool as well. It was Heartbreak Weather and Sleepwalk Living were written down in a little book at a similar time. Yeah, so it's just, I'm always trying to, like, sometimes as a songwriter you kind of make up stuff to make the story sound better sometimes. So like I'll add shit into, like, just what was a normal night out, I'll make it sound a little bit more elaborate. And I'm sure the pubs of LA miss me, because I do a good job there. I do a good job in most cities I go to. But anyway, it was just kind of like, it was kind of like bouncing around LA, kind of messing about, and the whole "it feels different when you're with me," that kind of came about. And I wrote this song about 2 or 3 times, couldn't get it right, and we just kind of messed around with riffs and big drums, and we knew what we wanted it to sound like, we just couldn't get it right. Yeah, so this kind of came around, and it's about, the verses are about the first night, the first time, well, the first verse is anyway, but the first time in the relationship. It was based in San Jose, California, but I thought that San Francisco sounded better rhyming wise, and so yeah, it was kind of like, I was watching, there was a NBC Bruno Mars special on TV, we're watching that, that's where the verses come from. Yeah, and then the chorus is explaining what usually happens, on a night out. All of my life I've been sleepwalk living, and kind of going into that stuff, and then yeah, basically that kind of sums it up. The verses are about, the start of a relationship, and that's why I put Heartbreak Weather at the start. Kind of opens up the story and kicks things off. I literally need to pull up the track listing because I've forgotten it. Where is it? Screen door slams. Black and white. Kind of the excitement. Black and white slots in. Black and white kind of slots into the storyline in terms of the track listing quite well, because it's basically a song of excitement and the feelings that you feel early on, I guess, in a relationship, and how excited you get very fast. Well, I do anyway, and you fall hard and quick, and it's not a bad thing, but it has been known to ruin relationships in parts, yeah, I just kind of Black and White was kind of, when I wrote Black and White, it was kind of like they had the title and we were jamming around with how we could make the title Black and White sound a bit different, and the idea of when you were like young, and even now, to be fair, I say young, but you get excited and you're like, this is it, I've seen it, I've been to the movies, I've seen what this looks like, this ends in happiness. And the idea then, Black and White, came where it was like, right, well, we could make make this a wedding song, and that black and white would be, the black would be the suit at the wedding, and the white would be the dress. So that was the picture. When I'm writing a song, I'm trying to paint a scene, and I can see things in my head, that maybe other people in the room can't, but I'm imaging, I'm like seeing it as a scene in a movie, and I thought that this was a cool way of doing it. And I mean, it's obviously the single out right now, and it's, oh god, I love it. Yeah, I see us in black and white, crystal clear in the starlit night. Yeah, and I just wanted to make a big stompy tune that you would roll the windows down and do it, and just dance, and one of them tunes, and I think it's one of my favorite songs. I'd say it's in my top 5 or 6 that I've ever written, which is cool. Yeah, I just love it. And then going back, so yeah, it's out now, by the way. Make sure your local radio station plays the shit out of it. Dear Patience is kind of a speed bump trying to slow down Heartbreak Weather and Black and White in my eyes. The idea that you rush, you rush and you don't want to rush. Basically what I was saying, what Black and White is about. And kind of the idea of getting too excited too early and ruining it for yourself and whatever. So Dear Patience is just kind of literally writing a letter to the feeling of patience and saying to yourself, dude, slow this down, you can't, don't ruin this one by getting too excited too quick, because you've got a good one here. Dear Patience, can we share a drink and let go of the pressure? And you would have seen that on my Instagram yesterday. I came on, played one song and left. You know me, forever the cool, mysterious. Yeah, and Dear Patience is a song that I've always loved, but in recent times, and especially around now, I think it's a major thing to have patience. I've never been a patient person. I'm so impatient. Something needs to happen yesterday. You know what I mean? And I think during this quarantine, the fact that we've all been home for 2.5 months and haven't left home, you have to be patient. Yeah, so literally just like, patience, can you show your face? Can you see that I'm anxious? When you read the lyrics out, it makes so much sense, you know. You're literally just having a chat with yourself and just be like, come on, Patience, let's go for a drink. Sit down and have a chat about this, because if I don't have a chat with you, I'm going to fuck this up. It's basically what it is. And, yeah. Bend the rules, not necessarily factual, but it's kind of like in the storyline, this where it slots in. It's a song of doubt, and the doubts that you have, that you may have at the start of a relationship when you're trying to fall, wanting to fall, but doubting that you trust the other person, or like niggly little thoughts, or that they may have about you, you may have about them. Bend the Rules is one of the first songs that we wrote. Where do we write Bend the Rules? We wrote Bend the Rules and No Judgment, I think, on the same day, which is obviously two quite random ones, and Nothing. I need some water. My throat is dry. I'll be back in a second. Yeah, it was just kind of like, like you would, I don't know, basically the whole idea is that, you call that person and you feel like they don't want to tell you everything that's going on. When you just kind of have a bit of like, you're a bit reserved about it, and you've got reservations about it. You're like, I'm not sure here what's happening. Is there something they're not telling me, type thing? And it's kind of like, it's a feeling that happens in most, just because you're trying to get your head around shit at the start and all that. As I said, not necessarily factual about in my situation, but the idea of it. And And then kind of small talk and nice to meet you are in a similar realm where it's kind of like, I would say, like, you're out of the relationship and you kind of want to, like, there's days where you're like sitting at home and you're sad or whatever, and I remember like when I went through my last breakup, I don't really have a sweet tooth per se. I don't like drink a lot of soft drinks or eat shit. I never have, to be honest. But I found this new taste for chocolate. What is it with chocolate? I don't know. But yeah, I had this mad taste for chocolate. But yeah, and then there's those days where you're sad and you're lonely and you're whatever, and then there's other days where you just, here we are back in Heartbreak Weatherville, where we're going out into town and doing the rounds and having a bit of a laugh and kind of, that kind of the other side of sanity. This is a good way of describing it. And where you're kind of just, it's kind of like the egotistical side of heartbreak, I guess. And you just kind of like, small talk is just kind of like, in my eyes, kind of like slow hands. Just a bit like, rough around the edges and a bit, yeah, I'm so cool. And then, nice to meet you. I've spoken about that a billion times. Oh, and then you walk into the room, I go quiet. I get your eyes and don't blink an eyelid. Feels like the world's like the sun and an island without waves. I try to forget you. I don't know why my voice is completely gone. Sorry, one sec. Someone's writing to me. And then everywhere was kind of on the other side then of that egotistical side, where I remember when I was like walking down the street and like literally in the lyrics I say, I see your face and people I don't know. I was like, I remember one time I was I think it was on like the Piccadilly line on the tube, and I was standing on the platform and I just looked over between the people, when you're just kind of looking around, and I swore to God I saw that person. And I was like, I'd say a couple of seconds away from walking down the platform. You're going through that and you kind of literally feels like every time I turn the corner you're standing right there. Feels like every time I turn the corner you're standing right there. Oh, she fell over. Feels like every time I turn the corner you're standing right there. Swear it's hard to think, it's hard to breathe when you're in the air. And I think we all have it where, like in my case it was a little bit different, because I was seeing that person everywhere, but like there was times where I was like, you'd literally like be like, that person walks like that person, that person there looks like her, that like, it's a weird one, and it does happen. It happens to all of us, and that's where everywhere kind of slots in. And then one of my favorite songs I've ever written, which started actually as a piano ballad. Everywhere was always that. I think we literally put down the groove, and then I just started going. I think we started just going. And then that evolved to kind of developed from there. And I actually think that that's still in there. That put very low and tucked in behind. What was it? Boom. Boom. Yeah. I can't remember how to play my own riff. But anyway, yeah, and kind of songs develop very slowly. Like one minute you've got just a kick drum and that's all it's playing. It's going. And then, I played that little guitar thing, and before you know it, it's "Is that every time," and it kind of kicks off. What's next? Cross Your Mind, yeah. Which started, I think I posted. Did I post the video of Cross Your Mind? I'm not sure. Of me, literally a video of me writing. It's something that I did a little bit more of this time, where I actually sat and like put my phone on, kind of like in this position here, and tucked in the corner of the piano, and yeah, and I just started playing it. And I remember it was really early in the morning. We'd been up all night, like it was in the Bahamas actually, and it's kind of, the chorus makes the least sense in the song, because I wasn't even trying to write about that. It's the chorus was just because it came first, and I didn't even know why I sang it, but I'd listened to I don't know who it was. I think it was John Ryan was sitting there, and he literally sat down and played an F like that, and I just went, "Love the way you hurt me, and it doesn't even cross your mind." And that was the first thing, and everyone was like, "Oh." And then we went from there, and I sat down and it's like, even now, like Black, if I could name some of my favorite songs I had ever written, I'd say that's easily in the top 5 or 6 anyway. And I love that. So the verse is basically kind of like at the end of the relationship, and there's lyrics in there that are quite personal, and it's your world, and now it's your world I want to live in. It's your ocean I want to swim in. They kind of relate back to something else, and and it's your show, and I'm just watching, losing using on option. If you leave me like a message in a bottle, that's kind of related back to something as well. And you don't come back tomorrow, at least you came tonight. Yeah, same again. Kind of all quite personal stuff. And then the chorus is kind of random, because it was the first part of love the way you hurt me, and it doesn't even cross your mind. Tell me that you love me, but I know you're out there running wild. Give me all the pain, give me everything. Don't nobody leaving me in pieces, but I swear it's worth it every time. And it doesn't even cross your mind. And yeah, and then I just sat down and did the same thing, just played the same chords over and over again. It was a F, C, just that A minor, G, and just kind of, it's your world, and you just kind of mumble stuff out, and the lyrics start coming every time you sing it. You keep singing it over and over, and you might get a word every time, or as you're mumbling, you're thinking, okay, what should I say, blah, blah, blah. And once you have a fair idea of what you're going to say, it all starts to come out. Yeah, God, I love writing this one. You keep talking, I'll just listen, daydreaming about where your lips been. Pull my heart right at my chest to drive a train through. Still get up and forgive you if you leave me like a message in a bottle, and you don't come back tomorrow. At least you came tonight. It's easy to pretend that I'm not caught up, but when you get hot and bothered, I can't give up the fight. Love the way you hurt me, and it doesn't even cross your mind. And it doesn't even cross your mind. I want you, there's no lie. And I love you, I try it. And I want you, there's no lie. I love you, I try it. Oh, love the way you hurt me, and it doesn't even cross your mind. Tell me that you love me, but I know you're out there running wild. Give me all the pain, give me everything. Don't hold back, don't hold back. Leaving me in pieces, but and it doesn't even cross your mind. Yeah. Alright, Paul. Sing the fuck you do. What else? Let's Cross Your Mind, which is obviously one of my favourites. And then, sorry, there's a laptop on in the background that the light died on it. And there you go, back in. The session is still up from yesterday, and it was toxic. A toxic tune. I'm having a bad writing week again. I was going well for a few weeks, and I just kind of half ran out of ideas, so the songs were getting worse every time I opened my mouth. Next one is, before are we next? New Angel. My throat is really dry for some reason. Jesus. I've seen a few people I know here now. Jakey Curran is in town. And young. I need a new angel that searches someone else to save me from myself. I need a new. And New Angel, I guess, is the song that where you're like, right, I need to get over this because it's gone on too long now. As much as you know. And the angel thing has got, it's not just like, I could have said new person, but the angel thing's got a background story as well, which is quite cool. And yeah, I guess it's kind of just like, I need to do this now. This is about time, you know. I need a new angel that searches someone else to save me from myself. I need a new angel. It's such I never felt, but baby, can't you tell that each time I close my eyes, she's in there running wild. I'm hoping you get her out of my mind. I need a new angel. I need a new. I think the chorus lyrics of that song pretty much sum that one up. That's pretty straightforward and not too much under the surface there, I don't think. No Judgment is a different story. No Judgment is about someone that I've known for a very long time, and kind of we've about a particular evening, and kind of came about and that had that riff for a while. As just the whole, it literally is so self-explanatory because it's happened a couple of times. Barefoot in a bottle of wine, you can stay with me tonight. You don't have to change when I'm around you. Just go ahead and say what's on your mind, on your mind. Yeah, quite, the lyrics there are quite self-explanatory. You just don't know who it's about, and it wouldn't make sense to you anyway, whether you did or not. So that's pretty straightforward. There, someone just said to me, "You look like an old man." Cheers, thank you. Great. San Francisco. I think I mentioned it earlier, but sorry to those from San Francisco who thought I'd written a song about San Francisco. Well, I haven't. The story started, the Heartbreak Weather started in San Jose, California, and I just felt like San Francisco's rhymed better than San Jose did, and it's kind of like longing to be back there in that scenario after all the shit above and all the other songs, you know, like the egotistical parts, the heartbreak parts. At the end of the day, it's like I'd fucking wish we were back in San Francisco and we could start it all again. San Jose, a hotel room in San Jose. Yeah. Where do I play it? Up here somewhere, I think, do I? Can't remember. Is it 3 or? Can't fucking remember. Take me back to San Francisco. We'll be here, but never last. I can't let go. Show up on your doorstep and see him running so. That's it. Moon shining, sun rising. You're the one who wanna wake up to. Lights fading, I'm changing. Overthinking, I don't know what to do. I wanna kiss you like the first time, hold you like it's not goodbye. Wish it hadn't been so cruel. Wanna let all my defenses down, screaming to the area. I know that on the line for you, to San Francisco, no. We'll be here, but never last. I can't let go, yeah. Show up on your doorstep, singing with, singing done running from the one that hurts so bad. There you go, that one. Oh shit, we missed Put a Little Love in Me earlier, but I mean, the lyrics are pretty self-explanatory there too. That's different about that is, I don't know if you've heard me speak about it before, but in Too Much to Ask, shadows dancing without you for the first time. Put a little love on me. When the lights come up and there's no shadows dancing, I look around. I tried to tie two songs from two different albums together, and I thought that was still, I guess, still wraps the whole thing up, if you ask me. Kind of like what San Francisco does, but in a more on the nose, this is how I feel, bang. And I wrote this song in about, I'd say, max 15 minutes. Because that's exactly what I was thinking. Then I picked up this guitar. We'd just eaten dinner, and I was actually just about to go home from the studio, and I picked up this guitar that was kind of in a weird tuning, and I just started playing. And yeah, just the first thing that came out of my mouth was, I can't play it in this tuning. My mind is complicated. It usually takes lyrics a long time for me to come, it takes lyrics a long time to come for me. But this time on this song was a different story. Yeah, and it kind of wrapped up exactly what I was trying to say. Anyway, I hope that helps. If you didn't know anything about some songs before, you might know a little bit more now. And that is Heartbreak Weather. La 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 la. Shopping. I guess I'm literally sitting here looking at Spotify. How dare I? I'd actually forgotten about the other two bad boys. And Dress is about, after 8 weeks, I'd say, I was just walking past my wardrobe, and I noticed that tucked in the corner was a dress of that person's, a long white dress, and yeah, for a while that picture, the dress was in the background of that person's phone, picture of me and that person. And so yeah, just kind of me seeing that and just being like, fucking hell, just get rid of that. But at the same time being like, I'm not ready to, you know what I mean? But I keep staring at that little white number. You left it in the summer, hanging in my wardrobe. Do you still want it? Do you still want it? That's too high. Well, I know that I did you a disservice. I call it 'cause I'm nervous. I know that we don't talk, and I know that it's on purpose. But do you still want it? But I'm holding on. Maybe it's time to put your dress away. Or leave it out. Maybe it's time that I give you space. But I just wanna see it back. I can't fucking remember how to play these. I was meant to be on tour right now, so I would know how to play these songs. But I just wanna see it back in your body. Watch you dance around it. Tell you I'm sorry. Baby, it's time to put your dress away. Even if I don't want to be. But I keep staring at that little white number, the one in the picture. We lose our Jeez, what is wrong with me? I can't even play a 4-chord song. I keep staring at that little white number, the one in the picture. When we lose our temper, you look at it for hours. Or do you still want it? Smile on the staircase when I open the door, kissing on the couch, makeup in the drawer. And darling, do you still want it? But I'm holding on. Or leave it out. Maybe it's time that I give you space. But I just wanna see it back in your body. Watch you dance around and tell you I'm sorry. Maybe it's time to put your dress away, even if I don't want to be. And I did that song with Julia and Greg Kirsten, and I remember saying to Greg at the time, I was like, because it was obviously because of me, a lot of my songs are in a timing called, for those of you who don't know anything or don't know much about music, a lot of my songs are in like I like to write in 6/8, which is a time signature, and you kind of, it's very Irish. Battery is telling me it's 20%, yeah, a lot of my songs tend to be, think about it, you know, and our paper houses reach the stars. Everybody's got somebody. It's very Irish. It's very like. What else is in 6/8 of mine? Fire away to an extent. Yeah, so another one was that, and so it felt like that it was going to end up having violin on it, and I called Connor, my band, when we play live, my violin player now, Connor Masterson, and said, I've got this song, if I send you, which was literally just acoustic guitar and some drums, and I said, would you play on it? And I sent it to him, and I think he and Jake went to the studio together, and yeah, they nailed it on. It was class. And that's Conor Masterson, who plays in my band. That's him playing that violin, and that was just class. And then the bass. Nothing. Oh yeah. Nothing. Word holds me like a lightning bolt. Plays the tiger thing. Word turns the sky from black to gold. Send my tears up in flames. Nothing. And sorry, for some reason my voice is gone. It's really dry or something. And nothing is class. Like, I remember I don't know what I was doing. I was in next door, and John Ryan was playing those chords just on a thing called a Road, which is like that basically does that key sound at the start of it. And I just walked into it, and he was like, "Why don't we write one of those songs where, like, what does this, what does that?" And this song was easy to write because once we figured out that, you know, the chorus was going to be nothing, doom, doom, and nothing, that, you know, we were gonna say, what does this, what does that, what does this, what does that, nothing apart from you. You know what I mean? So, what holds me when I'm alone, what makes a tiger dance? They could have easily gone, that song, we just kept going, right, what does this, what does that, and we kept going back and forth, and there's no real, like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, composition in terms of what lyric could have gone in. Like, the lyrics could have gone anywhere, because we were just going, what holds me when I'm alone? What makes a tiger tame? What turns sky from black to gold? You know what I mean? So we just kept going around in circles like that, and yeah, it was quite a very fun song to write. And then the original demo, which is actually not too far away from what it is now, is just me playing that on the electric. What holds me when lightning bolt, praising all my fears. What helps me understand what makes me disappear. Nothing, 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 nothing except for your love. Nothing. Yeah, so that was, oh god, so it was just me playing the electric guitar, Julian absolutely beating the shit out of the drums next door, and it's such like Julian style drumming. If you listen to songs like 1D songs like Little Black Dress is probably the most perfect example, where you're just laying in, and it's such Julian style. When he plays, he's a proper like rocker. And John played bass, and then Nate Mercero, who's a friend of ours, great guitar player, he came in and played on some of the tracks, the Heartbreak Weather and that, and some of the other ones. So that's all of the tunes, I suppose. I think I actually, when I was just looking back, I think I missed Arms of a Stranger. Arms of a Stranger was quick question. Actually, maybe not. Let me see, can I find it? December 2018. There we go. Literally, this is it. So I was in there. I was in the kitchen, and there was a few of us, and we were drinking tea or something. And I just, for some reason, was sitting there in silence, and then just this thing came into my head. I never thought that I'd die. And you can actually hear the TV in the background because I just walked in and left the door open. Ninth of December 2019. Even lovers in the dark hours, even numbers in the night. You open up your heart now, baby, won't you give it to me more than you will? Random. You're the one that I've been dreaming. Pre is always cool. I'll be on the knees in darkness, and you'll be there for, kissing you in your heart. Anyway, that was just literally just random shit. Never thought that this next verse, this like, sounds like the biggest prick thing to say, but I actually wrote this line in my sleep. I actually wrote this in a dream, and I woke up at 5 a.m. and sometimes this happens where I wake up, haven't thought of a lyric or something, especially when you're writing a lot. There's a lot of lyrics that come to you in dreams, I find. Maybe I'm the only one. I'm probably not. I think Paul McCartney wrote the whole of Let It Be in his sleep, which is a nice little claim to fame, I suppose, even if you are a Beatle. And I remember I had this the second verse, and I literally had it in a dream, and I woke up at 5 a.m. to go to the bathroom, and I lay back in bed and went, nah, I won't write it down because I'll remember it tomorrow. Don't worry about it. And I said no, and then I was like rolling around the bed and thought to myself, I'm gonna see, I wonder is it there? I said I'm gonna write this one down because I'll forget it if I did. Where would it be? Oh my god, I'm finding the San Francisco was originally called Take Me Back, obviously. And it was written on the 20th of February 2019, which for those who want to know. There you go. Oh my god, there's literally the thing. I've just found all of these. This is Heartbreak Weather, the chorus. I wrote that down on the 6th of February 2019. Christ. Arms of a Stranger. I was in LA and then came back and wrote Arms of a Stranger. I think it was, that's why I was awake at 5 a.m. because I was jet lagged. God almighty. No Judgment, the 21st of November 2018. Yeah, so anyway, I can't find that for some reason. Where is that? 16th of January, Dress was written. I know, can't find it, but I wrote that in my sleep and then wrote that thing down. God. It's funny looking through all of this stuff. Let me have a look. Easy as I could. Let me with nothing. Now I'm in the arms of a stranger. Why do I think of you? You let me with nothing. Now I'm looking in the eyes of a stranger, just trying to get over you. Yeah, you let me with nothing. And yeah. That's every song in that album. I said I was going to do this for a while, and I did it. I'm not going to lie, I would have preferred to have spent 15 months on a project and then released it at a better time. But instead, I released it as the old Corona came upon us, and I would have preferred to have played on Rockefeller Plaza on St. Patrick's Day as part of the Today Show. I would have loved to have gone to Toronto and done the bits there. I would have loved to have gone to London and Germany and Italy and the places that I had lined up, and then go on tour, and I would have much preferred to have done it that way, but we did get the number one in the UK, which was huge. And yeah, I do find the promotion helps though, not gonna lie, and being able to get around, I enjoy it, and I've been doing it for a long time. What is going on? Oh, I'd lost connection there for some reason. For those of you interested, I was sick a couple of weeks ago, so I couldn't do my Graham Norton interview / performance-y thing. So I did it this week. I've recorded it already, so I'll be on Graham Norton this Friday night. The ever lovely Graham, great guy. It's an unbelievable show, so I'll be on that. I think Lady Gaga that? What's that? Girl, tell me something, girl. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something that you're searching for? Bum 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 ba-dum. Bum bum da bum da. Gung 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 ga 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 bum da da. That's a tune, isn't it? Yes, knowing what we know now about that movie and her previous album, Joanne, was it? I guess they were obviously writing Joanne, and then a lot of those like that all came from that, I guess. I remember hearing a lot of that. One night to be confused, one night to speak the truth. We had a problems, babe. Conor Dunne, who says any bass notes. Conor Dunne, who plays everything there. Anyone like Wild Youth? Both under influence. See a lot of fans of that one. 'Cause I'm of the deep end, watches I dive in. I'll never reach the ground. Get to the surface where we can run. We're far from the shadows now. In the shadows. In the shadows, in the shadows, far from the shadows now. like to hear a particular song before I go. Da da dee dum bun dun dun dun. Be dee dum bun dee. And baby, we are the champagne lovers. Lay in the dark, we are stargazing now. And I don't like it. Rolling the dice just to feel the thunder deep in the heart of a downward spiral falling. We should twist the night, put it all to bed. I need to understand. Maybe we are Pull me back in deep. Used to love me with the lights below. Now we're tearing at the seams. We both had enough of this, baby. So promise me that when you leave, you won't say you'll come back to me. The lights were low. Meet me underneath the sheets. We both had enough of this, baby. So promise me that when you leave, you won't say you'll come back to me. Right, folks, that is it. I've got a meeting early doors. A meeting about fuck all, because there's nothing going on. Good night, peoples. Have a good evening, day, wherever you are. I'll be around. JB's there. Good night, JB. Have a lovely day / night, whatever you're doing. See you soon.